A speedy welcome to the show for everyone. This is the Speed Lane on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. And I'm your host today on the show. My name is Marysyntia Hangeior, and the Speed Lane is where we talk about issues that affect our lives, our children, our communities, and, well, just everything around our society. Now, today on the show, we are looking at something that has gradually changed in many homes over the years, and that is raising the boy child differently. That is how the boy child is being raised when it comes to domestic responsibilities. Before now, in many homes, household responsibilities like maybe cooking, cleaning, washing, or even helping around the home were mostly seen as responsibilities for the girls. And you would often hear things like, leave that one for your sister, or let the girls handle it, or there is no need to call the boys to even watch what I am doing. There is no need to allow them to do the cleaning or do the washing or things like that, because that one is just for their sister, and then their own responsibilities are a different thing. But today, many parents are beginning to teach boys these responsibilities too. They are opening up to the idea of allowing the boys to also learn, basic domestic skills. More people now believe that basic skills, are life skills that every child should actually learn, regardless of gender. So today, we want to look at how that has actually helped us, what impact this shift has had on families and even society. How has teaching the boy child domestic responsibilities helped families and society today? Tell us how you think it has actually helped. What has improved you as a boy child yourself? Were you taught, or did you grow up to learn that on your own? And if you were taught, how has it helped you as a parent? What do you see in your home, or what are you doing in your home? And how would you say that it has actually improved, teaching them these responsibilities? Now, you also can call in to be part of this conversation, and the number for you to call is 08084 asking. That is 0808 427 5464. It's 0808 427 5464. Call in and let us hear from you this morning on the Speed Lane on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. How has teaching the boy child, domestic responsibilities or the cooking, teaching boys how to cook and even handling, those home responsibilities, how do you think that it has actually helped them, helped even families and then even the society in general? Because, before, people were actually, families were mostly against that idea, or maybe they just did it maybe subconsciously or even unknowing, like okay, this one is not for the boys, or the boys, it's not necessary that they actually know some of these things. But now that most people are now opening up to that idea, I mean, there are going to be some people who still maybe lean towards that direction, but then if we open their eyes to actually see how it has impacted, what it has done, then we'll find everyone actually leaning towards that direction. So how has it helped you as a boy child? How has it helped you? And even for the parents, families, what do you see, training your boy children, to actually grow up learning these domestic responsibilities, whether it comes to the kitchen, because they'll say, okay, before they shouldn't cook, or they shouldn't, it's even like some persons even say like it's a taboo for them to be learning some of these things. So changing your minds right now, what do you think it has actually helped? Number for you to call is 08084 asking. That is 0808 427 5464. It's 0808 427 5464. This morning on the Speed Lane, we are talking about raising the boy child differently. Hello. All right, you can still call us back to be part of the show this morning and contribute to our conversation. We are talking about raising the boy child differently. How has it helped that now, these days, parents are now opening up to the idea of even teaching their boy children? You as a boy child, how has it actually helped you that you were taught to cook, you were taught to maybe manage the home? Some of those responsibilities that were mainly looked at like, this one is just for the girls to do. How can me as a boy be doing this? How can I be washing plates? How can I be doing that? How has it actually helped you? For the parents, how do you think that it has helped our children, the boy children these days, actually including them in some of these responsibilities that they were excluded from? Number for you to call is 08084 asking. That is 0808 427 5464. It's 0808 427 5464. Call in and let us hear from you this morning on the Speed Lane on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. And now when we look at the way many homes were structured before, there was often a clear difference in the way boys and girls were raised. Girls were more likely to be taught, the caregiving, the cleaning, the cooking. Hello,
good morning, ma'am.
Yes, good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Dofan Akai. I'm calling from Niman, Makurdi.
All right, welcome to the show, Dofan.
Yeah, I was listening to the radio. From where I heard, I can tell you that training the male child to go to the kitchen and do most of these things, I can tell you how positively it has helped, especially my brothers.
Okay.
I grew up as a child and I was raised most of the time with my brothers because my mom had to go to school. For my mom, every male child, there's no difference between a male child and a female child.
Okay.
So right on time, it has really helped them. They are better husbands than what we have now. And the kids, they show more concern and they're actually concerned about their wives. I like the way they treat their wives. So I can tell you that what my mother did, she really did a great job, and she has really helped a lot of women to think positively.
Okay.
And they seem to understand, they get the feeling that no, sometimes this kind of thing I can do it. And now sometimes when they're not there with their wives, they can't do those things. And they do it joyfully and seamlessly, and they're happy to do it. And there are times that they invite their kids to come in, let's do this together. And it's wonderful. My uncle, my mother's immediate younger brother, used to cook with his children. He was the one that used to cook and do everything.
Okay.
It's wonderful. So, the attitude of a male child who doesn't go to the kitchen, should not do this one, and all those one, it's not right. I believe that God should help us the way we are trying to. Most homes now are saying things differently and are trying to raise their children
All right.
towards positive direction of this is not just a woman's job. There's no job ascribed to a woman. We are equals. You should be able to do this. Don't think that don't wait for a woman to do this all the time. You should be able to do this.
Okay.
So
All right.
In the male child gets
All
to
right.
understand the females better and to groom their houses better.
All right. All right. Thank you so much for calling in to be part of this conversation this morning, Dolphin. This is the Speed Lane on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. And I'm your host today on the show. My name is Marysyntia Hangeior, and we are looking at raising the boy child differently this morning on the Speed Lane. How has, teaching the boy child domestic responsibilities helped families and society today? How has involving, male children when it comes to some of these things that before they'll just say, you're washing plates, that one is for the boys. Do you expect your brother to wash the plates? Do you expect your brother to be cooking? How has, these days, how we start, families have started opening up to the idea of teaching the male children these responsibilities? How has it actually helped? Call in and let us hear what you think. Let us hear your thoughts on 08084 asking. That is 0808 427 5464. It's 0808 427 5464. Call in and let us hear your thoughts this morning on the Speed Lane on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM, raising the boy child differently. And I was talking about how girls were more likely taught cooking, taught washing, taught caregiving and other household responsibilities from a young age. Meanwhile, many boys were not always expected, to participate. For some families, or even most families, they were not much expected to participate in these things because it was often seen like, okay, this is a woman's work. And we also heard from Dofan earlier, who said in her own, from the way that she sees it, obviously because she has experiences, she has gotten to see it from her brothers, the people that she grew up around. And then her mom was someone who raised everyone, taught everyone the same responsibilities. Like everyone should be responsible for taking care of the home, to be able to don't tell me that if I am not around, like this is not going to happen because it's just the boys that are at home. Are people not going to eat now because it's only the boys? How about the boys themselves? Like, are they not going to eat because mommy is not at home, or the sister, is not at home? And for her, she said even in the absence, she has seen that it actually helped them to become even better men, growing up. Even when they are already married, in the absence of their wives, they can still do this, they can still do that, which is basic human skills that people should actually be able to survive on their own, because you can't be stuck, or you don't have to starve, you don't have to maybe stay in an untidy environment simply because, well, you don't have that sister or wife close to you to actually help out with some of these things. So let us hear you this morning on the Speed Lane on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. Number for you to call is 08084 asking. That is 0808 427 5464. It's 0808 427 5464. Call in and let us hear from you this morning on the Speed Lane and tell us what you think. Tell us you yourself as the boy child, how it has helped you, or if you have seen your parents, hello. Yes, good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Calling from West, Naka local government.
All right, could you speak up louder?
Yes, I'm calling from West.
All right, Naka local government.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show.
I'm just tuning in. I'm just tuning in.
Okay, and maybe you have to call us back because it's really low, and I have seen you try to raise your voice, but then it's still a bit low, so maybe try to call us back on 08084 asking. That is 0808 427 5464. It's 0808 427 5464. This is the Speed Lane on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM, and my name is Marysyntia Hangeior with you on the show this morning. And if you don't know what we're talking about, raising the boy child differently. How before, it was often looked at like well, the boy child should be excluded from domestic responsibilities, different things, even taking care of the home. Like, they are not supposed to cook. It's your sister. Call your sister to come help me with this. Call your sister to do this. It's the mom that is supposed to do this, this, and often, like, kind of, should I say, it's even a subconscious thing, or some persons did it as, even consciously, like, the boys are excluded, but then people are opening up more to the idea of even the boys should be taught some of these responsibilities, these domestic responsibilities. So how has it actually helped? Tell us from your experience, you yourself as the boy child, and then even the parents. How do you think this has actually impacted the children? Number for you to call is 08084 asking, that is 0808 427 5464. It's 0808 427 5464. Call in and let us hear your opinion, let us hear your idea, let us hear your experience this morning on the Speed Lane on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. And I was talking about how many boys were not always expected to participate as much as in these things, because it was often seen as women's work. But over time, many people started questioning that mindset, because at the end of the day, basic domestic responsibilities are part of everyday survival and independent living. Cooking a meal, keeping a space clean, washing clothes, or managing home are things every adult may eventually need to do, at some point in life. And you don't need to, maybe you don't have to have that maybe handbag that if this person is not here, then if someone comes to visit your home, immediately they are able to tell that, oh, there is no girl in this place, or there is no woman in this place that is supposed to take care of this, or is supposed to. What about your own self? Because sometimes when people say things like this, it seems like maybe you're asking that they should do it for another person, but it's for your own benefit. Hello,
good morning, man.
Yes, good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Frank Tezungweimote. I'm calling from Lagos.
All right, welcome to you're calling from where?
Lagos State.
Okay, where in Lagos State?
Ikoyi.
All right, how are you doing over there?
I'm very fine, man.
So you're listening, you're watching us live on Facebook, or?
Yeah, live on Facebook.
All right, welcome to the show. Go on, Frank.
Thank you, man. Okay. For me, I can appreciate my mother very well because the training that they gave me. When I was small,
yes,
living with them, they taught me how to do things, most especially in terms of cooking. So as of now, I'm not with them. I'm not with my wife together. I can even cook for myself.
Okay.
I can even take care of myself in every aspect. So that one I can appreciate my mother for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
as of now, my boy is 12 years and he can cook because I already gave him small orientation about it before I left my place.
Okay. I see you're passing it down.
Yeah. So I want to appreciate you for the program.
All right. Thank you so much for calling in to be part of the show this morning, Frank. This is the Speed Lane on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. And I'm your host on the show. My name is Marysyntia Hangeior. And this morning on the Speed Lane, we are talking about raising the boy child differently. You also can call in to be part of this conversation. And the number for you to call is 08084 asking. That is 0808 427 5464. It's 0808 427 5464. Call in and let us hear from you this morning on the Speed Lane. And you can also watch us live on Facebook, just like Frank did, and that is on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM Makudi. You can watch live on Facebook, and you can also tune into your radio 98.5 Speed FM and tell someone else, because if you're listening right now, my guess is that you're already here, so you can tell someone else to also listen. And we are talking about raising the boy child differently. How do you think that it has actually helped, teaching the boy child domestic responsibilities? How do you think it has helped families and even the society at large today? Because every little thing that starts affecting a family, whether we like it or not, it goes as much as affecting the entire society. That is what people fail to understand. Like, okay, this one is just a family thing, but it goes beyond that. Hello. All right, you can still call us back and be part of the show this morning on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM and let us hear your thoughts. It's 08084 asking. That is 0808 427 5464. 0808 427 5464. How has teaching the boy child domestic responsibilities help families and even society today? Because it wasn't always like that, but now we have men who can cook, we have men who can, men who take care of themselves, men who can, just like we heard from Frank Imote, who called us all the way from Lagos. He boasts of how he can actually take care of himself even in the absence of his wife, because his mom was able to teach him those basic responsibilities. Like, this is how you survive on your own. Just raising somebody, to go and be someone else's responsibility. And also, this is to say that even if you weren't brought up, maybe your parents were people who had that mindset of, okay, this is how it should be. It's not too late to actually learn on your own. Like, I have to say that on the side notes. And he boasts of how even his boy of 12 years old, has actually started maybe cooking and doing some of those basic things because he introduced that. So you don't have to be somewhere and even be worried about your child. Okay, this one is a boy and he's at home. How is he going to do this? How is he going to survive? How is he going to take care of his own self? What if he finds himself somewhere that I am not around to look after him? What is he going to do? But as a parent who was able to maybe instill some of these things in your children, in your boy child, then you know that you have little or nothing to even worry about. So let us hear from you this morning on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. Number for you to call is 08084 asking. That is 0808 427 5464. It's 0808 427 5464. Call in and let us hear what you think. We are talking about raising the boy child differently. How has it actually helped? What people are doing these days, especially in this 2026, recent times. How has it actually helped? This change of mindsets, change of mentality, how has it helped us? Now, when we talk about why parents, then actually excluded the boys from domestic responsibilities, when it comes to things like how domestic work was seen as just the women's responsibility, or even cultural beliefs about masculinity. Like some parents felt household chores would make the boys to seem too soft. It actually got to the point where even as children, some of your parents will even laugh at you like, boy, they wash plates. That kind of, okay, how can a boy be doing something like this? You're acting like a woman, or you're doing this or that. So does the boy now maybe travel about with a woman or with a girl wherever he finds himself, okay, to actually wash those plates? When you end up in your home, probably alone, then do you also travel with that person to wash those dishes for you, because you cannot do it because it's seen as less masculine to actually do it? And some persons, back then it was more about preparing for future gender roles. Girls were prepared for marriage and caregiving more than the boys. The boys were, just prepared for, you have to be present, you have to protect, you have to provide. But how about taking care of the basic things? I think it's going to fall apart with your own space or even in your stomach, because even when it comes to cooking, simply because there is no female present. Call in and let us hear from you this morning on the Speed Lane on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. Number for you to call is 08084 asking. That is 0808 427 5464. It's 0808 427 5464. How has teaching the boy child domestic responsibilities help families and even society today? How do you think it has helped you as a boy child? Like, tell us what it has done to you. If you were thought, raised to know some of these domestic responsibilities, how has it helped you today? And also, as a parent, what difference have you seen, training your boy child to actually know some of these responsibilities, to be able to handle it for themselves? How has it helped you today? Look at the way it has actually impacted, your lives and even the lives of your children, depending on who it is that is listening right now and calling to share with us those experiences on 08084 asking. That is 0808 427 5464. It's 0808 427-5464. Call in and let us hear from you this morning on the Speed Lane on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. And also, something else I would say made a lot of parents to maybe even subconsciously. Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
I am Awo, Israel.
Okay, and where have you called us from?
I'm in Makode, from Makode, BSC.
All right, could you move away from your radio set or turn down the volume?
The issue at hand now, it's interesting. It's an interesting topic, but the truth is that in those days we used to know that girl child is better, is prepared. They are preparing them for their families when they will get married at home and have their own home to take care of. They will be able to do things like cooking, washing, taking care of the house. And the other side of it, which is a boy child, his responsibility purely is to bring home food and care for other things. But when you leave the kitchen issue in the hands of a boy child, then you are not helping him.
Okay.
But we are in a Gen Z age that many things are changing. That is the only different thing now. Many things are changing now, and people don't like using giving the girl child the responsibility of cooking, and it's making them lazy. Actually,
okay,
the girl child are getting lazy. These days, if people get married to somebody's daughter, she cannot be able to prepare food anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, except to cook indomie and all these spaghetti food. Give a girl child a pounded yam to do for you, she will not be able to do it for you this day.
Okay.
She will not be able to cook a good soup for you to eat. I'm not saying that it is not good to prepare to give a boy child those responsibilities. It will help them tomorrow anywhere.
Okay.
But the main assignment is for a girl child to cook in the kitchen.
Okay.
And not to go to the foodie to eat food. Not to go to
restaurants. We understand. Restaurants
to eat. Cook food in the house so that you enjoy it with your husband, with your sibling, with every other person.
So how do you think?
If you don't train the girl child to cook, then what will she do?
You know,
become very lazy.
Can you hear me, Mr. Israel?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you know that the idea, what we're actually talking about today is not about maybe encouraging the girl child to not cook or to not do those responsibilities. It's how times have changed, and now even the boy child is getting included and are taught some of these things. So do you think that it has maybe a positive effect on the boy children themselves? Because you gave an example of, okay, you marry somebody and they're unable to do this. So do you then starve because someone is unable to cook for you? Because if you had knowledge, if you know how to do that yourself, you wouldn't be waiting for anybody to actually do something like that for you. So it's not about encouraging the girls to not
At times my wife travel and I cook myself.
Okay, because you were taught,
my mother
right?
didn't put me in the kitchen. He didn't train me how to cook, but I developed cooking myself.
Okay,
I have a child in my house now about 13 years. He knows, he's a boy. He knows how to cook.
Okay,
and he cook and I eat.
That's because who is teaching him?
I don't know whether he learned it from her mother.
That's because you people are teaching him. This is what we are talking about, and I'm glad you came to that realization all by yourself.
But don't make it look like.
No, we are not making it look like
the girl child should not do her.
No. The focus is not to discourage the girl child from actually keening towards learning those domestic responsibilities. It's on the boy child, because if you look at from time, it's them that were mostly excluded.
But can you believe me that in our present society, the girl child, the girls we have on the street now, majority of them cannot cook food.
Okay.
Do you believe that?
Yeah, I can believe that, because even back then and now, it's possible that there were still people that will not know how to do things.
Okay.
All right.
All right, thank you.
Thank you so much for calling in to be part of the show this morning, Mr. Israel. This is the Speed Lane on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. And I'm your host on the show. My name is Marysyntia Hangeior. And this morning we are talking about raising the boy child. You also can call in to be part of this conversation. And the number for you to call is 08084 asking. That is 0808 427 5464. That's 0808 427 5464. Call in and let us hear what you think. We're talking about raising the boy child differently. How before boys were often excluded, when it comes to domestic responsibilities, when it comes to household duties, they were excluded. But these days, parents are opening their minds to the idea of the boy should also learn, because those are basic skills, basic things that people should actually know to be able to survive on their own, to be able to do something on their own. Even in the absence of this, that I am not going to starve because I don't have a female around to actually help me do this, or my children have to starve because their mommy is not at home, or the house is going to be messy because mom is not at home, wifey is not at home, and myself, I wasn't taught, and I haven't tried to maybe even teach my own self. And we heard from Mr. Israel, who said in those days, girl children were actually being prepared for their homes to take care of some of these domestic things, and boys to provide and then bring the food home. But these days it's more like, because our parents are opening up to the idea of even the boys have to learn these domestic responsibilities, then it's making the girl children lazy. Now, whether we like it or not, even back in the past when it was the girls that were more encouraged to do some of these responsibilities, there were still people who would not learn. Even then, there were still people who would not know. So it's still like that today. There are still going to be some people who would not know some of these things. And now the aim here, today is not to encourage, because boy children are actually encouraged to do these domestic responsibilities, then for the girls, then they have to step down. No, that is not the point. The point is to make sure that everyone is actually able to take care of themselves, even in absence of the other person. In fact, it shouldn't have to be in the absence of the other person, because you never know if you're even going to end up with someone. To be honest, you never know that. And do you wait until it comes to that point before you're able to think like, now I should go online and then look for classes and then be able to learn? Why not teach these children now, to be sure that wherever you are tomorrow, that they are doing good for themselves and they can actually survive on their own. You don't need you don't have to travel from maybe the village because they're in the city to go and help them cook, because he doesn't have a wife yet and he's probably starving and he won't be able to take care of himself. These different things that actually make us to come to this topic. And Mr. Israel also said he himself, he wasn't taught, but then he's able to do that himself because he learned for himself. So that is another point. Even people that were not taught, you can actually learn for yourself, because to him, I like how he mentioned that, even if his wife isn't around, he's able to take care of himself, and he has a boy of about 12-13 years old, and that boy is able to cook and even give to him. That is because he was taught. Right, he was taught, and it doesn't have to be become messy. It doesn't have to be a situation where everyone is stranded because mommy is not at home, or sister is not at home, or this person is not at home. So let us keep hearing your thoughts this morning on the Speed Lane on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. I am your host on the show. My name is Marysyntia Hangeior. Your number for you to call is 08084 asking. That is 0808 427 5464. That is 0808 427 5464. Call in and let us hear your thoughts this morning on the Speed Lane. Tell us how you think that teaching the boy child domestic responsibilities have helped families and even society today. You as the boy child, how has it helped you that you know how to do these domestic responsibilities? You're able to take care of your own home. You're able to, know how to cook, because when we talk about basic survival, like that is the first thing, survival skills, that is the first thing that people often mention. So you know how to do some of these things for yourself because you were taught, or you decided to train yourself. And even for the parents, how has it helped your children? When you look at it, how has it helped you? How has it impacted their lives or even your life, from the training that you have given to those male children? Call in and let us hear from you on 08084 asking. That is 0808 427 5464. It's 0808 427 5464. Call in and let us hear from you this morning on the speeding. We are talking about raising the boy child differently. Let us hear your thoughts. And if we talk about how it affected many families and society, for excluding the boy child when it comes to these domestic responsibilities, it placed most household pressure on the girls alone. And apart from that, some men grew up too dependent. This is what we keep emphasizing, too dependent, that okay, that you never know where life is going to place you, and you won't always have that person that is going to check if your table is properly cleaned, or if this one is like this, or if something isn't rotten somewhere, because you yourself would have that sense that I was taught to be able to take care of the home myself. I was taught to be able to make food. I don't have to take anything. When you don't know something yourself, or you don't have a skill yourself, then whatever someone is offering to you, whether it's good or bad, whether you're okay with it, whether the food is tasteless, what can you say when you yourself doesn't know how to make that thing for yourself? And then we'll talk about how some boys even entered adulthood, how it affected then. Some boys even entered adulthood without important life skills for their own survival, not just for everyone, for their own survival. Some entered into this adulthood without those basic life skills. And then we'll talk about how some women, when some people will pressure themselves, I only give birth to boys. How do I even get help? How do I even do some of these things? And sometimes I even appreciate, I like it most when parents like that, okay, I only have boy children and I have no choice but to be able to train them in this area also. And then people, society just looks at you even as an adult, and somehow they are able to tell that this one grew up in a house where there were no girls, and that is why they know how to do some of these things for themselves. And then no one has to think about, I only have boy children, so I cannot get help with household responsibilities. I cannot get help with domestic responsibility. If you're training them to do that, they grow up to know that this is what they are supposed to do. This is how they are supposed to help. Even as they're getting to old age, they know that this is what they are supposed to do. This is how they are supposed to help. Or you don't bend with that old age and keep taking care of or keep doing some of these things for the children, simply because you believe that okay, they are males and they shouldn't be involved in that aspect. Hello.
Hello?
Yes, good morning, sir.
Morning, how are you?
I am fine, thank you. Welcome to the show, Mr. Hassan Sambi.
You have brought another good topic.
Oh, thank you, sir.
See, this is very important what you are saying. Whether you teach the boy to do what he's supposed to do like the girls is the best thing in life. Because now there is NYC. When you go for NYC, what happens? Who cooks for you? But if you have been aligned to cook for yourself and help your mother, now you help yourself. Without any help for anybody, you cook very well, eat very well, and stay very well instead of disturbing neighbors, asking somebody to come and help you. I'm saying this because my mother, most of us, the elders, were boys. There was no girl. So I was forced to help my mother.
Okay.
I knew how to cook very well. I can cook a two
okay.
A two with yam. Do so well. I knew that it has helped me. When I eventually got married, I told my wife, this is how you cook my okra for me.
Okay.
This is how you do this one for me. And we have been doing it happily together. So it's cool for the boy to know how to cook.
All right.
In the family.
All right.
It's very important.
All right. Thank you so much for calling in to be part of the show this morning. All right. This is the Speed Lane on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM, and I'm your host on the show. My name is Marysyntia Hangeior, and this morning we are talking about raising the boy child differently. You also can call in to be part of this conversation, and the number for you to call is 08084 for asking. That is 0808 427 5464. It's 0808 427 5464. Call in and let us hear from you. How has teaching the boy child household responsibilities, domestic responsibilities, actually helped families and even societies today? You, as the boy child, tell us what it has helped you, what impact it has made in your life. And also for the parents, how do you see your children? How do you see those boys that you are training with these responsibilities? Call in and let us hear from you on 0808 for asking. That's 0808 427 5464. How has teaching the boy child domestic responsibilities actually help families and the society in general? And we heard from Mr. Hassan Sambe, and I like this example of what about NYSC, because you find yourself there and you're not carrying your mom along, you're not carrying your sister along, you're not carrying someone who is going to help you take care of that. Even if you employ people that are going to do some of these things, like to what extent do you are they actually going to take care of you? Or if something happens and any of these persons are absent, how do you take care of yourself? So if you know that you'll be heading for NYSC someday, what are you going to do? The boy child, ask yourself that, because that is actually a very great example of places that you would find yourself, and you need these basic survival skills to actually help yourself. And I like how Mr. Asen Sambe boasts of the things that he knows how to do, preparing the different soups and things like that. So no one can come and force you to even have what you don't have and tell you that this is what you have to manage, because well, you have your own skills and you know how to eat what you want to eat, make it to come out how it's supposed to come out for your own for your own taste, and even when it has to do with other things too, not just the cooking. So let us keep hearing from you. Mr. Hassan Sambe emphasizes that it's very important. Let us keep getting your calls. How has teaching the boy child household responsibilities, domestic responsibilities, actually helped the families and then even society today? Number for you to call is 0808 for asking. That is 0808 427 5464. It's 0808 427 5464. Call in and let us hear from you this morning on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. My name is Marysyntia Hangeior with you on the show this morning. And then, how has teaching the boy child, we have been getting different calls, people talking about how it has affected them, even the children, this and that. So now, it has helped many boys, become more independent and then self-sufficient. And it has actually created men, in a better way to be able to support with these household responsibilities, even in the absence of the women that they have placed there. And I'll still repeat, because of what our caller said earlier, this is not to discourage the girl child from actually doing this responsibility or learning this responsibility. If anything, everyone is actually supposed to learn these basic survival skills, not to say that, okay, because the boys are not learning, the girls should relax. No, that is not the point at all. The point is to find that balance, to make sure that everyone is self-sufficient, is able to take care of their own self in the absence of the other person. Not to seem like, okay, I have to be dependent, and if this person is not here, we are going to starve. My children are going to starve because their mommy is not at home. Just imagine how you yourself as the dad will even look in that situation. And it has helped our boys to even grow up with the skills that we talk about, encourage the shared responsibility and teamwork. It also helped the men function better even when living alone or without support. Remember your NYSC. I'll keep emphasizing on that. If anything, like if you're close to that place, remember then what are you going to do? And it also promotes that mutual understanding and appreciation for domestic work. Domestic work is something that everyone is supposed to at least have an idea of, is able to do, because you're not always going to have someone to do that. And even if you have someone, to what extent are they going to help you or keep doing some of these things? And in their absence, what are you going to do? At the end of the day, many people now see domestic responsibilities less as a gender issue and more as part of preparing children for adulthood and everyday life, because life itself it's unpredictable. Everyone may one day find themselves in situations where they need to care for themselves, support others, or even manage responsibilities independently. And perhaps that is why many parents today are choosing to raise children, both boys and girls, with more balanced life skills than before. So today's discussion is really not about competition between boys and girls, but about growth, responsibility, independence, and building healthier homes and society. And I've been with you on the speed lane this morning. My name is Marysyntia Hangeior. We have been talking about raising the boy child differently. And also coming up next at 10 a.m. after the news is King James 90s Top 10 right here on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. And until then, the music won't stop. So keep enjoying music of your life. And don't forget to remember that domestic responsibility is not a gender skill. It is a life skill.
You get business, you get organization. Abi you want me to hear you for radio? Oh yeah now, make you